All right, so we are back today with Chapter 9 of Liberate, Your Journey to Lasting Financial Independence. And we're going to go ahead and start with the quote. It's pretty short, right? Fortune favors the bold. Virgil. So this chapter 9, is accelerators. And we've talked about a little bit about step 1 and step 2, earlier in the book, and that's your personal mindset and your personal finances and having a good foundation there, and that you can achieve financial independence with just steps 1 and 2. But I'm providing a little bit more information on some accelerators, steps 3 and 4, that we'll talk about here in this chapter, in chapter 9. So let's go ahead and get started. So what is an accelerator? The term accelerator generally describes a device or substance that increases speed or facilitates a process. For example, in automotive engineering, a turbocharger forces more air into an engine, increasing power and efficiency. What does that have to do with your financial independence? Imagine you start a road trip with a dependable car. It is reliable enough to get you where you're going, but at a slow and steady speed. Install a turbocharger on the engine, however, and you can significantly pick up the pace. Just as the turbocharger boosts your car's power and speed, financial accelerators help you ramp up your income and investment returns to reach FI much quicker. Remember, one of the purposes of this book is to help you condense time frames and achieve your personal FI faster. These two accelerators are viable options for those who take on the extra work and risk. As I said earlier, neither is guaranteed. Important to remember, but I recommend looking at both if attempting to accelerate your FI. Both entrepreneurship and higher risk, higher return investing are lifetime learning pursuits. They cannot be mastered by reading one section of a book. Therefore, my objective here is to merely explain the accelerator concept and its potential for your FI. However, you will need to dig deeper into both to improve your odds of succeeding at either of them. Some readers won't be interested in the additional risk or work that these two accelerators take, which is totally fine. The accelerators are not required for FI because the personal mindset and personal finance sections provide a reliable path for everyone to achieve FI. Nevertheless, entrepreneurship and high return investing are areas to explore for those interested in additional paths to achieve FI and who are able to handle more uncertainty. So why is there an accelerator sequence? It is important to follow these steps in sequence because you can't invest if you don't have money. Spending time and energy to become an investment analyst guru when you don't have money to invest is not the best use of your time. Unless you plan on becoming an investment analyst for your career as your personal income engine, you are better off sticking with index funds for now and focusing on the first accelerator, entrepreneurship. The steps are purposely sequential. Okay, entrepreneurship comes before higher risk, higher return investing because the goal is to create an even larger business income engine than your personal income engine, which provides excess cash above what you already contribute to your investment income engine. If you achieve the first accelerator, entrepreneurship, you have a business income engine that may be sufficient to obtain FI without needing the second accelerator, or the fourth step. If you choose the right type of business and set it up correctly, you won't need to run the day-to-day operations, which gives you more time and money to pursue your life's purpose. In addition, your profitable business is an asset that could be sold to complete your FI. Now, suppose you still want to grow your investment income engine by pursuing the second accelerator. In that case, you now have money from your profitable business that you can risk investing in higher risk, higher return investments. Remember, your original investment income engine will still be in place, and you'll fund it with your personal income engine. But now you will use the excess cash from the first accelerator, your business income engine, to invest in the second accelerator, higher risk, higher return investing income engine, instead of from your personal income engine. Okay? So you can use the money from your business income engine because you can afford to lose it. You are not planning to lose it. However, if you did, you would still have your original investment income engine, eventually getting you to your FI if the higher risk, higher return investments don't go as planned. So I'm not saying they won't work, but you must always be prepared. With higher risk, higher return investing, you are not being irresponsible, but are taking calculated risks, but risks nonetheless. Just because it's probable that large losses won't happen doesn't mean it can't happen, right? We really want to go into this with our eyes wide open. But we're using entrepreneurship to create a business that will provide the income that we need to go toward our FI account. And in some instances, just having that business, it could be large enough that will do everything you need to in order to achieve FI without having to worry about higher risk, higher return investing. Okay, so why entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is uncertain, but when managed prudently, the small business owner has more control over achieving a higher level of profitability than what they could consistently harvest from the stock market, from stock market investing. So getting 15 to 20% average return investing in the markets would be a major accomplishment for even the best investors. Famous American investor Warren Buffett has been able to do so, but not many others have. It can be very difficult. However, since small businesses are taking on additional risks like size, industry, and company-specific risk, it is reasonable for their expected returns to be in that range. Thus, it is common for small business valuation experts to use discount rates between 15 and 20% or more. It suggests that businesses purchased at the right price with proper risk management can reasonably obtain those levels of return. By actively managing the business, you can further improve these odds of success. Your direct efforts can help the business thrive. Okay? So remember, when we're doing our index investing, we're putting our money into those, as an example, the S&P 500, the largest 500 companies, and we don't have a lot of control over what happens in the markets and into those individual companies and how they're managed. However, if we run our own small business and it's profitable and so forth, we have a lot more control over what we can do to make that profitable, right? So picking up right over here, you can hustle, make prudent decisions, and do things others can't or don't want to do, resulting in a more profitable edge than average market returns. And like I said before, spending time and energy becoming an investment guru right now does you no good if you have no additional money to invest. Your time and effort are better spent becoming an entrepreneur. First, learn how to create money, then how to invest it. The beauty of entrepreneurship is that you can create money from an idea. Yes, the probabilities are stacked against you, right? Still, if you are passionate and interested in learning about entrepreneurship, you'll gain valuable experience through reading and implementation. However, at this point, you're not sinking large sums of money into any business. At this moment, you only investigate, read, write down your ideas, and explore possibilities. You're also not looking for another job to replace your current one. Instead, you are looking for a business that has the potential to become more than a job. You want a business that eventually can be operated without you. You want a business that has the potential to scale and grow much larger than only catering to a small local clientele. While your business will start small, you don't want to think small. At a minimum, you'll eventually want to have dozens of locations or reach hundreds of thousands of people with your product or service. You want a business that has the potential of consistently producing a minimum hundreds of thousands of dollars in annual profits. Not all businesses have that potential, so you must be selective. With the odds against becoming a successful entrepreneur, you must consider what type of businesses are capable of meeting this criterion. All right, so we're going to stop right there, pause the video, pick it up in the next section of Chapter 9, Accelerators. Thanks for being here with me, and we'll see you real soon.